Hello,
Hello,
I'm
I
Mr.
saw
Perry.
you. Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Fine. And our last panel was actually a little introduction to your retail context because we were discussing something, and one of our friends from the retail industry said retail is quite different than the environmentalist things and other things. Uh, I want to leave the stage to you. You have half
All
an
right, thank you.
hour. We'll be delighted to listen from you. And where are you actually?
I'm actually based in China, so as you can see at the back, it's kind of dark, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so we're a few hours ahead of you.
uh, okay. We are going more to the Eastern time zone. Actually, one day we'll reach you. And do you have a presentation for the technical part?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So let me share my screen.
Okay.
So first of all, thank you for having me. And my name is Mark Perry from Cloudpick. We are a AI company dedicated to provide a unmanned solution to the retail sector. So thank you for having me on the Turkish AI Week, first of all. And I'm very glad and honored to be here to present what we have, and hopefully you'll be able to see more of us perhaps in Turkey in the near future. And through this opportunity, we hope to develop some possible contacts, and then for you to understand us better. So here we go. So first of all, I'll start off the presentation with a quick video that was actually made by one of our clients in Singapore. So this video is, as you can see, this is what a typical shopping journey will look like, just like that, right? You can go into a store, pick up something, and then leave the store just like that, right? So this particular store is actually launched by us for a Singaporean client called Fair Price. So Cheers is one of their banners, so their convenience store logo. And as a matter of fact, the store is relatively small. It's only 15 square meters. It's based in Tampines Hub in Singapore. If you have been to Singapore, it's quite famous. And then so it's a POC, but this store was launched at the beginning of this year, and now we are already developing the third and fourth stores for Cheers in Singapore. So they like the technology quite well. So just a bit of introduction about the store format. As you can see, it's a small store, but it's got pretty much everything. Cloudpick is here to offer an autonomous store solution, right? Where AI is doing most of the work, utilizing computer vision, IoT, AIoT, as well as sensor fusion technology. So we have our own patented algorithm to understand and do the computer vision recognition, right? So along with sensor fusion, we provide everything that you see in the store. That includes the double door coolers here, the fridges, the open coolers, single freezers for selling ice creams, as well as the gondola racks. So very normal fixtures that you see in a normal convenience store. So what the special part is the cameras on the top. As you can see here, we have a ballish camera. It's a high definition camera. And over here, there is a Intel RealSense, which is a motion sensor camera, right? So they have different roles, as a matter of fact. So the high definition camera is to look at the products to understand the shape, size, color, patterns of the products. And the smart cameras or the RealSense motion sensors, they're to cover the shopping floor area, to understand, to track the people, to understand using our algorithm to understand the postures and gestures of the clients. I'll go more into details. But effectively, there is no blind spot in the store. So the motion sensors will keep track of what people are doing in the store, where they're moving, how they're moving. And by combining those two pieces of information, we can understand if someone is reaching out his arm and grabbing a particular product. And again, the confirmation of the product is done by the computer vision recognition, right? So when you come to a store like such, one thing that you do is to scan a QR code, and this will allow you to download the application. And after simple registration, just with your phone number, the second step is to register your credit card or any other form of online payments, such as PayPal or Apple Pay, right? This allows us or the retailer to deduct the money after your shopping. Otherwise, since it's so frictionless and seamless, you can simply walk out and not pay, right? So we need a way to charge you after the shopping journey. Here, after the successful registration, you can see that there was a QR code presented on your app, like such. And then the scanning of the QR code allows you to enter the store, right? Also, you can use, alternatively, you can use your facial recognition and technology, also offered by us, to avoid the QR code scanning procedure, right? I'll go more into more detail into this. As you can see, you can walk into the store, and here you will start your shopping journey. And by the way, you can put away your phone, right? So there's no more necessity to take out your phone to scan or to make any sorts of payments, right? You can do whatever you want as if you're in a normal store, right? You pick up the products. If you change your mind, you put it back. And as a matter of fact, you can put it somewhere else, but it's not encouraged because, for example, you pick up this product and you put it here, right? We support misplacements, but we don't encourage it. Number one, it creates unnecessary calculation for us. And number two, it will make the store look very messy, right? Because it's unmanned, it has no cashier. So the store operator will probably visit store only perhaps once every 2 days to replenish and tidy up the store. And after you finish your shopping journey, you can come out the store. Please note that there are two ladies here. So perhaps they have gone into the store using the same account. So that's another function that we have to support group shopping. Group shopping is whereby if only one person has an account, he can invite everyone to go into the store with him, right? You scan the QR code, someone walks in, and you repeat that procedure until everyone is in the store. So as a result, that one person who has an account will pay for everyone. So it's his treat, right? And when you're finished with your shopping journey, you simply walk out. When you approach the exit, the door will automatically open. You walk straight out, and the receipts will follow right after. So 70% of our receipts are generated within 10 seconds of leaving the store, which is quite a significant competitive advantage for us per se. And this is why how it makes us stand out from the crowd. You can click into the receipt to see the details. And here is a demonstration of how you can use the application to take a picture of yourself. So this, by uploading a picture of yourself, this function allows you to make the shopping journey even faster, right? By understanding this picture will be uploaded to that little tablet that you saw sitting mounted on the turnstile. It allows the store to understand who you are. So next time when you come back to the store, you don't need to scan to enter. You just look at the camera and you'll be able to enter. This is done because the computer vision understands who you are. So in turn, it understands which account that you're holding, right? So it's a representation. It's an alternative to scanning a QR code because at the end of the day, the system will know which account to debit the bill to. So after that's done, all you have to do is to look at the camera and smile, and the door will open for you. You walk in, you grab something, and you walk out. So that is one complete journey, right? So as you can see, if you're able to upload if you're willing, of course, it's not compulsory to upload a picture of yourself, then the whole shopping journey from the entrance to taking to come out to the billing can be completed within a matter of seconds, right? And combining the group shopping model as well as the facial recognition model, what can be done is very interestingly, you can upload pictures of your friends, your family members to the phone. And this is very helpful for senior members of the family or very young people, the youth of the family, because first, maybe they don't know how to use smartphones, or maybe you don't give them pocket money to buy stuff. So what they can do is, for example, for your kids on the way back home, they can stop at the shop, look into the camera, and then they can go into the store and do the shopping, pick up a couple candies or whatever. And at the end of the day, maybe you are miles away in the office, but you'll be paying for his purchases, right? So it really brings more convenience to the daily lives of people. So that is how our store works. And let me quickly go through the presentation I've got. It's a pretty interesting presentation, but I'll quickly go through it because of time limitation, and I have something more cool to show you. So quick introduction about the company. We were founded in 2017, and utilizing computer vision, machine learning, sensor fusion, we're able to deliver this kind of frictionless autonomous store shopping experience, right? So as you can see in the video, everything is happening autonomously. There's no need of assistance from a cashier. Alleviates the jobs of tedious daily chores of a storekeeper, and we're able to create a digital twin of the physical retail outlets, and then create a ecosystem around the technology, enabling omni-channel sales, perhaps integrating with e-commerce, right? Online shopping platforms. So this is what a typical store format looks like for us. As you could see in the video just now, the autonomous part is this part. So it's obviously barred off because when people go in, they have to scan themselves in. We need to know who they are. And after they do the shopping, they have to come out through the gate, right? So here are the racks. Here is the open chillers. Here are the fridges. We can also incorporate vending machines such as coffee dispensers, automatic coffee machines, milkshake machines, frappuccinos, all sorts of different kind of machines from a third party, by doing a very simple integration, as long as they have an operating system at the back end. So what's over here is a serviced area. So this complete format of a store is a hybrid model whereby people can come to the serviced area if they only want to pay with cash, and perhaps they want to buy some prohibited items such as liquor or tobacco, whereby the cashier it's regulated by law that the cashier needs to check the ID of the person, right? But after we go into the night, the cashier can leave and go home, and then they can seal this gate off, and leaving this part, the unmanned part, operating 24/7, right? And then here's a seating area. So the ceiling in particular looks like this. We have the in a video you saw a different type of motion sensors. Here's another model. So here's a motion sensor. Here's a high definition camera. So two types of cameras again. Here you can see this is what the smart cameras is basically seeing. We're able to understand if a person is making such postures or gestures within the store by understanding the movements of the limbs, right? The limbs as in the legs and the body, the core, the arms. And here is what we can observe, right? So from a technology point of view, the face or private information is not important to us. We need to understand what you're doing. So effectively in a 3D environment, we're able to understand where people are. Imagine this is storefront, right? So we understand where people are and how they're moving about and how they're interacting with each other, right? And now coming back to the high definition part, we're able to understand by recognizing the patterns, shape, color, size and weight, very importantly. The weight sensors are retrofitted in the shelves, and that's why we have to offer the shelves. We're able to understand what product is available or we can recognize, right? So by combining this information and this information, we're able to understand this person who came into the store with a particular account ID has picked up a Fanta and a Sprite, right? Collectively speaking, we're able to create a 3D environment, a digital twin, reconstruct the 3D environment by using cameras. And effectively, cameras are more of capturing 2D images, right? So we are basically recreating a real life store forefront here. Going back. So what can we offer in terms of when a retailer starts to use our AI technology? We are able to understand exactly what people are doing, right? If you think about the fact that we can understand the movements of people, we're able to understand when he came in, when he went out, where he's traveled during his shopping journey, when he picked up stuff, when he stayed, how much time did he spend in front of the shelf, right? And maybe he picked up something and then put it back, right? So we understand every single detail. We understand his foot journey, foot path, and based on there are a couple of things that we can analyze from his profile. For example, his age, rough estimation of his age, height, hair color, etc. Right? So to understand him better. Moreover, we're able to understand his preferences, what he likes. Does he like soda? Does he like healthy food, salads, etc., so that we can bring better services for him and tailor-made for him. And also we're able to help retailers interact with the customers better. For example, interactive screens or remote sending him some coupons so that he can be brought back to the store to shop. So yeah, what here are a few profiles that we're able to generate for the retailer to understand the customers better, and especially we're able to tap into the customer behaviors, because this is unprecedented to the current brick and mortar store environment. But utilizing AI technology, we're able to understand their behavior and their experiences and some of their customer profiles, which were information that were unprecedented, unavailable to retailers before now. And here are some of the values that we can bring. So number one, we're able to help retailers select better, optimize their SKU selections. We're able to help them enhance their store layouts because we understand the footprints, footpath of the customers. We're able to help them manage or plan their planograms better, right? If you want to put the Pepsi on the top or at the bottom, we're able to create a more digital and more interesting store by having more digital displays, such as digital ESLs, which is very common nowadays, electronic shelf labeling, as well as magic mirror or LCD screens to play adverts. We're able to provide interactive or real-time pricing strategies and promotion optimizations based on how the customer is behaving and his preferences, and moreover, issuing coupons based on his profile as well. Sales forecasting and auto replenishment, we can tap into the supply chain of the retailer and then interact with their systems. For example, automatically sending purchase orders to their supply chains. Real time, so we understand how many items is left on the shelf real time, and in turn offering restock notifications. Right, when the stock is running low, we will, since the store has no cashier, we can send an email or a notification to the store manager so that next day or whenever he can bring in which exact item, so he doesn't waste time and energy and resources to bring in extra stuff. We can integrate with AR technology so that when the store is big enough and people are having trouble finding stuff, they can use their phone as a game or a toy to help them better navigate the stores. And then perhaps you have special like the very recent the movie with Ryan Reynolds in it. You put on the AR glass, you can see a lot of different shiny stuff and promotions. This can be done in the store as well because everything is digitized, everything can be interacted with the AR system. And automated checkout, that's something you've seen. Robbery prevention, there is basically no way to steal from what's going on in the store. So people can literally put things in their pockets, they can eat it directly, they can throw it out, but there's no way to steal from us. Offline scan and buy online, you can, being able to understand what products is on sale and what products are being bought. Offline purchases and experiences can be transferred to online. So that brings us to omni-channel membership management, which helps the retailer to better understand and better serve their customers offline and online, right? And lastly, based on all the data that we have collected, we're able to understand the performance, analyze the root cause or the reasons for the performances, and make suggestions. Right? We're at the end of the day, we're a toolkit. We're a tool. We're not here to give you the silver bullet or anything, but we're here to help retailers to optimize their operations and enhance their profitability. And how much value we can bring, it really depends on how the retailer decides to use the toolkit that we have. So one thing that we can demonstrate is, for example, the number of purchases and number of picks, right? Or number of purchases and number of stops, right? So for example, since we in a brick and mortar store, you don't know these two figures. You don't know how many times people stop in front of a shelf or in front of a particular SKU, and you don't know how many times people has picked up, because all you can see is number of purchases, right? And this is made available for analysis. And we can use this information to analyze on product level, on each SKU level. For example, this SKU of chocolate, the revenue is made, how many stops of thousands has people made in front of that particular product, and in turn we can derive the conversion rate between pick and conversion, pick and final purchase, and obviously average price is some data that you can collect. So understanding average margin, then we can decide whether or not to execute some kind of promotion for that particular product. Here's some heat maps where so I'm going to jump. So basically, what our store is able to help retailer create is a closed loop experience for the shoppers, right? Before they come, as you can see, we can notify sales, right, coupons, so that he can be attracted, he can be brought into the store, he can bring them in. And then when he comes, we can welcome them, we can interact with them, making them, feeling more comfortable and easy when shopping. And then during the shopping experience, we're able to display real-time interaction coupons generated just for them. For example, when he picks up a Pepsi and he puts it back, perhaps the retailer wants to give him a 5% discount for that product so that he can pick it up back, right? Or the real life display, such as the LCD screens, Coca-Cola maybe decides to play an advert for him when he picks up a Pepsi, right? For example, shampoos for ladies and shaving creams for males, for guys, right? So that can be done. So this kind of interactions within during the shopping journey within the store can be made happening. And lastly, when he leaves the store, all this purchase history can be translated into digitized promotions online and also understanding him better by understanding his online and offline shopping histories. We can tailor make more appropriate promotions and coupons or messages for him to bring him back into the store. So that's what we're creating here, a very closed loop omni-channel sales circle. And here is an estimation of the values that we can bring to a traditional retailer by cutting cost on the expenses side and enhancing the profitability or revenue on the sales side, right? Based on percentages wise. So from a product line point of view, here we have the unmanned stores utilizing smart technologies such as AI and sensor fusion, and we have translated that into a AR vending machine. So you might have seen a vending machine like this before, but we have brought it to the very next level because we are almost 100% accurate, and we are super fast, right? So, and we support misplacement. So what happens is that we'll take a normal fridge that you can see in any of the stores, and we will install the cameras at the corners and install the weight sensor shelves inside. And then utilizing computer vision, again, we're able to understand people can use the same app for the unmanned store for the fridges to open up the fridge and take items, right? This enables the retailer to sell more product ranges. Before, maybe vending machines are only able to sell beverages, but now they're able to sell boxed food and perhaps items that's very fragile, glass bottles, right? And having this kind of vending machine means that there's less mechanical errors or margin of errors, right? Because when you have more, for example, in the traditional one where you have coils pushing the items, or you have the robotic arms picking up the items and bringing it down to the pickup location, none of that is needed because people are able to in real life interact with the product to see the content of the food before they make the purchase decision. And lastly, we have integrated into our system, for example, contactless pickup and delivery boxes, right? Whereby people, if they want to take something prior to arriving in the store, because perhaps they don't want to wait, they don't want to perhaps spend time in the store, they're so lazy, right? They just want to pick up something and go home. An order can be placed, and the store can bring the item into the box so that they can pick it up by scanning the QR code. And lastly, we have automated drones that can bring, for example, products and deliveries within a building or even on the road, right? So obviously we don't this is not our core products, but these are our partner products, which is basically a part of our ecosystem. Because if you think about it, a supermarket is, if you consider a supermarket is the warehouse, right? And we can already interact with the supermarket's POS system and their supply chain system. The convenience stores are considered as the aircraft carriers. Then the vending machines, since because of its mobility and flexibility, they are more like the aircrafts, right? That can be flew into anywhere around, like next to a football pitch or in a locker room or next to a stadium, right? So it can be super flexible. So, and that this is the delivery people that brings the merchandising around the places, right? So, we have, from a company scale perspective, we have been working, although that we've only been established for 4 years, but we have um, had the honor of working with many clients around the world. We have set up almost 200 stores in 13 different countries, ranging from Argentina to US to Europe and to Southeast Asia and Middle East, right? Some of the big brands that you can see, Sodexo, Total, Deloitte, McKinsey, a whole Delhaize from Netherlands, Auchan, France, and Lido in Germany here, and BP, and Joseph Digital from, and Omantel from Oman. So yeah, we're pretty endorsed by some of the biggest players in the retail sector. And so far, we don't have any stores in Turkey, but hopefully very soon you will be able to see some of our stores happening over there. And lastly, because I know I am aware of my time, guys, can you still, Mr. Comet, can you still see my screen?
Yes, but it's black now. I can see your desktop, but it's rather complicated.
Oh, can you see my desktop? Yes. Can you see my mouse?
Yes.
Brilliant. So this is a final element of what I want to show. So here is a dashboard of our operating system, right? For retailers to understand, have a full grasp of their stores. And this is a real life store that we invested here in Shanghai to demonstrate our technology. And what's valuable, you can see all the functions over here and but what's valuable is this part. And this shows, this is real life information because this order literally happened like half a minute ago. You can see, you can click into, we have the data about every purchase, every shopping journey. And we understand when people came in and when people went out and how they traveled within a store. You can see when he picked up an item. So let's have a look at a bigger order. This one, for example, he spent 29.4 RMB. And then you can see how he can everybody is traveling differently in the store. He's picking up stuff. Perhaps he's putting it back. I'm just fast forwarding. We understand how much time he spends in front of each section or each shelf to consider his purchases. And how he finally went out. Well, for example, from this shopping journey, that you can see that this person never had a chance of visiting what's in the middle, right? So perhaps this is a indication of, maybe we should make this part more interesting or optimize the layout so that every corner of the store can be visited, right? So I'm out of time, and this is pretty much all we got. And I hope that you have enjoyed what you've seen. And do you have any questions for me, Mr. Carrot?
Mr. Perry, actually, I'm very impressed about this. In Turkey, when your company comes to Turkey, you'll see two trends. One is actually about basket size. It's like the discount stores. You go and buy something, and then they say, well, there's an opportunity. Do you want to buy this for 1/3 the price? It's like opportunity marketing. And the other thing for the big ones is they're trying to change themselves to something like marketplace and keep the customer rather than keep the number of brands they offer. They turn to a marketplace from an outlet. So how will you compete in this?
Oh, well, I think because we're an AI company, at the end of the day, the value that we bring to the market or to the retailer is the artificial or intelligence, right? So the way that we compete is not on, like, as you mentioned, brand level selection or promotion, because those are strategies, right? But what we can offer is information, because information is super valuable, right? Because it's very regardless of, I don't want to go to too much details about how important information is, because I personally, I think having the right information, enough information, does 99% of the job, right? Without having the right information, it could be leading you to a complete different route. But one thing for sure is that before now, when a retailer wants to understand the performance of the store, real performance of store, he probably has to hire some mystery shoppers, right? And that's why mystery shoppers are here, because you want to put them there. They can see it from a very third party perspective, and to record things, to understand how people behave and how people react to the technology or the shopping environment, and how to see maybe how the cashiers or the shopping assistants is helping the customers. But now, we already have that, right? So there's no more need for mystery shoppers. So again, we are a toolkit, right? We are here to offer more information, insights into the operation of the store to the retailers, and how they use us and how much value in real life that we can bring is completely up to them.
Okay, thank you for this. Now we're going to the factory floor, where artificial intelligence is about role to play. So I thank you. At this point, now we are going from storefront to factory floor. And
thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Cheers. Have a good day.
Cheers.
Bye,
Bye.
Karim.